Hello, fierce crowned, powerful beauties. So, these next 3 weeks, we are going to be evoking the power of magic. Just to start us off, here are some definitions of magic. Magic is an extraordinary power or influence from a supernatural source, something that seems to cast a spell or enchantment. Magic relates to having extraordinary powers, the power to influence the course of events by using mysterious or supernatural forces. Well, guess what? What if you considered that you are a mysterious supernatural source, that you are made of extraordinary powers, that you enchant and transform the world around you, that you have the power to influence the course of events, that you are fascinating, captivating, charming, glamorous, enchanting, entrancing, spellbinding, magnetic, irresistible, and hypnotic. That in fact, you are magic itself. There is a one-of-a-kind special quality that you bring to the world. There's an essential sense of you-ness that makes you feel alive, connected to your mojo, rooted in your own source of inspiration and purpose. When you are doing you, everything in your life is empowered. When you're rocking your own mythic, meaningful, heart-led life, the entire tapestry of life is enriched. And when you are bringing your unique brand of expression into the world, you are connected to creative energy, to magic. You make magic just by being you. And we are all born with this original essence. Yet unfortunately, we also learn to cover up our magic as we take on other messages about who we should be or need to be. We take on cultural messages, messages from our family, our peers. We turn down the power of our expression because we don't want to attract attention. We don't want to hurt anyone. We don't want to experience others' envy. We don't want to be rejected. We don't want to fail. We shut down, we build walls, we start believing lies that diminish our identity, our sense of self, and we cut ourselves off from our own majesty. The poem Rilke states this so beautifully and declares something I think that's so important for us to remember about who we really are. Rilke says, "Ah, not to be cut off, not through the slightest partition shut out from the law of the stars. The inner, what is it, if not the intensified sky, hurled through with birds and deep with the winds of homecoming?" So let us not be cut off from the law of the stars. Let us remember the power of magic that we are. And the path to recalling and accessing our magic is ours whenever we open to our deep imagination and feel those images hurl through our bodies. You see, there is a stream of imagination and archetypal infused power that only you bring. It's your soul's dream, and it provides you with a powerful, unlimited stream of authentic, creative potential. Imagination is the sympathetic medium in which dialoguing with images occurs. It is the faculty through which we establish compassion, understanding, and respect for things that feel other. Connecting to our imagination connects you to the creation going on under the crust of consciousness all the time. The deep imagination guides the psyche bringing magic, creativity, and power. The Greeks called this creative agent of the soul the daemon, an archetypal figure that moves through us and communicates through imagination. The capacity to be receptive to the daemon connects to our willingness to listen, to turn towards, to open and surrender, to collaborate with the mystery and allow it to change us. And it does change us. That transformation is one of the principles of magic. For an encounter with the daemon both disrupts the organization of the ego and alters us on a cellular biological level. When an image comes into our awareness, when it enters our body becomes a metaphor, and that changes the very cells of our body. Now that's magic, isn't it? So here we can think of the ego that I'm talking about as the adaptive identity. It's the self that we formed based on our environment growing up. And the power of the daemon, the power of our deep imagination, pushes up through that ego, asking to be let in, asking us to let go of the plan, asking us to let go of the small version of ourselves, asking us to be alchemically altered. And here's one more important truth about the power and magic of imagination. It's in the roots of imagination that we find possibility. When things feel limited, when we are hitting walls in the world of matter, the world of limitation, it is the very best time to communicate with the imaginal realm, to go behind the veil and tap into the stream of vitality and potential that we are made of. In those times when we feel most powerless, our capacity to connect in with the power of imagination is everything. You can think of the times in your life where you have had to do this kind of magic. Through our lives, we build these capacities, these unique superpowers, the kind that grow in the midst of our struggle, in the midst of our learning, our inspirations, and our triumphs. It's all the deep initiations, the hard-won learnings, these meaningful intersections between the human and the divine that tell our story and force the seed within us to become the glorious oak tree that we are. The mythic part of you knows that it's the very life you have lived, the beautiful moments and the challenging ones, that awakens this uniqueness, this magic that is within you. The Greeks talked about this idea as the telos of the soul. They saw that each soul has this directional purpose, a telos, an entelechy, an imperative to be and become who you are. That inside of you there is an undeniable power that wants to express. This is your personal brand of magic. And to allow the mythic power of the soul to transform us, to become us, to feel the pulse of becoming coursing through us. This is magic, if only we can say yes to it. Now, I promise you this. As you become more available for the creative stream of life, it also becomes more available to you. Make room for magic in your life. Make room for the deep power that you are, for the encounter, for the transformation. Make room, and magic will make room for you. At the beginning of the course, I asked you each to consider, what are you identifying as? Because something powerful happens when we shift our identification from the small mind towards knowing yourself as magic. What if you didn't derive your sense of self, the story of who you are, and what you're capable of from your mind, but instead sourced this vast possibility of knowing that you are consciousness, that you are made of star substance, that you are bright, majestic, that you are the ever-expanding power of life itself. Well, in these next 3 weeks, we invite you to try on a much larger and more powerful identity. It may feel a little risky to your ego that wants to stay small and play it safe. But we can be gentle and compassionate towards our survival adaptations. They've gotten us here this far. But we can also still take leaps and steps towards risks at playing bigger. So let's see what kind of magic we can make as we allow ourselves to connect to our deep imagination and begin to identify as the creation energy itself. We have an extraordinary amount of creative energy to tap into. Our creative ambitions are much too narrow. So let's celebrate what is yearning to come into and through you. We are co-creators. We are divine designers. We are the outer wing of the galaxy. And I'll say it again, we are magic.